देखो रे भाई त्रिभुवने ना हे मोना दयाल दाता पशु पाखी जोरे पाषाण बिदारे शुनि जार गुण गाथा पशु पाखी जोरे पाषाण बिदारे शुनि जार गुण गाथा परम करुणा पाहो दुई जान निताय गौरा चंद्रा संसारे माझिया रोहिली पड़िया से पदे नाही लो आशा संसारे माझिया रोहिली पड़िया से पदे नाही लो आशा अपना करामा भुंजाए क्षमा कहो ये लोचन दासा अपना करामा भुंजाए क्षमान कहो ये लोचन दासा परम करुणा पाहु दुई जान दिताय गौरा चंद्रा सब अवतार सार शिरोमानी केवल आनंद कंदा सब अवतार सार शिरोमानी केवल आनंद कंदा परम करुणा पाहु दुई जान निताय गौरा चंद्रा जय गौरनिताय 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 जय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय 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 जय गौरनिताय निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा गोपीनाथ भगवान की, श्री श्री राधा दामोदर भगवान की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की, श्रील प्रभुपाद तिरुभाव महामहोत्सव की। हिताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। जय जय राधा कृष्ण युगल मिलन, आरती करोवे ललिता आदि सखी गान। जय जय राधा कृष्ण युगल मिलन, मदन मोहन रूपा त्रिभंग सुंदर, पीतांबर शिखी पुच्छ चूड़ा मनोहर, जय जय राधा कृष्ण युगल मिलन, आरती करोवे ललिता आदि सखी गान। ललिता माधवा में वृषभानु कन्या, ललिता में वृषभानु कन्या, सुनील वसन गौरी रूपे गुणे धन्या, सुनील जय जय राधा कृष्ण युगल मिलन, आरती करोवे ललिता आदि सखी गान। नानाविध अलंकार करे जलमाला, हरि मानो विमोहना वदना उज्ज्वला, जय जय राधा कृष्ण युगल मिलन। आरती करो वे ललिता आदि सखी गाना। विशाखादि सखी गाना नाना रागे गाए। प्रिय नरमा सखी जत चामर डोलाए। जय जय राधा कृष्ण युगल मिलन। आरती करो वे ललिता आदि सखी गाना। श्री राधा माधव पद सरसी जाशे। श्री राधा माधव पद सरसी जाशे। भक्ति विनोद सखी पद गुने बासे। पद सुखे भासे। जय जय राधा कृष्ण युगल मिलन। आरती करो वे ललिता आदि सखी गाना। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा हरे राम हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, कृष्णा हरे राम हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Radha Madhav, Radha Madhav Radhe. Jai Radha Madhav, Radha Madhav Radhe. Prabhupada, 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Bolo Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Shri Shri Radha Madhav Ashtasakhi Vrinda ki jai. Shri Mayapur Dham ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming. we will begin the evening part of Glorification of His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. आप सभी का हार्दिक स्वागत श्रील प्रभुपाद के तिरुभाव महामहोत्सव के उपलक्ष्य में आज संध्या का कार्यक्रम अभी हम आरंभ कर रहे हैं. So we will begin with His Holiness Bhakti Pracharak Parivrajaka Swami Maharaj. He will make a presentation and Maharaj, please come.
He's the man. I'm a tail. Stand for you.
इनके लिए चेयर लगेगा चाहिए. हाँ हाँ हाँ.
और लगे. One chair for Ramani to be taken. one cordless. One cordless is video. One video. Well done. Very good. Maybe cordless. We'll speak first.
Hare Krishna. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much all the assembled Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis and the organizers of this program. Kartik Yatra of Navadvip Mandal Parikrama, the organizers, we wish to thank them for giving us an opportunity for making a presentation about Navadvip Mandal development. So now we are going to have a short slideshow presentation about the importance of this Navadvip Mandal development. It is said, Navadvip Dham is the crest jewel of all the holy tirthas. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Navadvip Mandal Mahatmya, he is saying, because of appearance of Lord Chaitanya in the holy Dham of Navadvip, this Dham is the crest jewel. This holy Dham can remove all our sins just by residing even one single day in this holy place. And then it can award all types of liberation without going into any kind of speculation. So this holy Dham need to be preserved for generations to come in the future. Media team, can you play that slide presentation, please? The PowerPoint slide. So this holy place need to be preserved. There are different places in this holy place. There are many holy tirthas. I'm sure many of you would have visited many holy tirthas during this last few days. Some of these tirthas are already taken care nicely by different temples, Gaudiya temples, Gaudiya Vaishnava temples, Gaudiya mutts, and there are many more such places which needs preservation. And there are many more places which need to be identified. It's all lupta. Lupta means it's all concealed. It's not visible for our eyes. So there are a team of devotees who are working on identifying these pastime places. And there are pastime places which are already identified which needs development. This is part of Navadvip Mandal development. The various places what we are seeing already during the course of the parikrama, it needs proper development. Otherwise, this will not be available. For example, in Janudvip, which is one of the 9 islands of Navadvip, the Janumuni ashram, in that place, we have a poultry farm now. It is slowly becoming a slaughterhouse. So all these places will go away one after the other as we go forward, unless we as Gaudiya Vaishnavas take the responsibility to preserve these places, develop these places. So these are some of the main important aspects drawn from Navadvip Mandal Mahatmya, where you can very vividly see the importance of being in the Dham, the mercy of the Dham. Everything is revealed here in this slide presentation. So there are many places which are discovered already. Janmuni Ashram, we all know. Naimisharanya, we all know, right? Pushkar Tirtha, right? Then we have Panchaveni, Uchahata, Radha Kund, Shyamakund. All these places need to be preserved. We need to develop all these places. Otherwise, it won't be available for us in the future. This is a very important aspect. Another aspect is certain areas need to be, we have it in the scripture, we are not yet identified which are these places. Right? That we have Samudra Sena's exact place, we do not know where it is. Right? We'd have Pandava Tila, Pandavas and Draupadi, the campsite of there. It's not yet fully, properly identified yet. Lord Ramachandra visited the place in Modadrumadvip. Still, that exact place is yet to be identified. Meeting place of Pundrik Vidyanidhi and Gadadhar Pandit. Those places need to be identified. So like this, there are identified places and there are places to be identified. And there are places which are identified where we need to acquire the land. Otherwise, these things will go away. Like we have beautiful places in Naimisharanya, Uchahata, Amgata, right? Then we have Gauradaha, Shankarpur, Janumuni Ashram. Like this, so many places are there where we need to acquire the land. Without acquiring the land, we will not be able to have these places in the future. Already one by one things are going away from us. And on top of that, we have different campsites where we have already acquired the land. ISKCON Mayapur has already acquired the land in these campsites. We have about 7 campsites right now where parikrama devotees can go and stay. Every day you stay, that means you are assured to go back home, back to Godhead. All the sins are removed. But we need to facilitate the devotees who are coming from all around the world to stay in these holy places. Right? In these campsites, we are planning to have a proper boundary wall first, and then a paka place to reside, not just tents. And then we will have proper bathrooms. I'm sure many of you are suffering even here in Mayapur Dham. The places, there are some places of residence where we don't have proper bathrooms. When you go to the campsites, it's very, very austere. Right? So we want to build some proper bathrooms and toilets there. And then some basic medical facilities also intended to be provided in these campsites. So that in future, every single month, we can have parikrama. We have permanent place, properly maintained permanent place. A group of devotees come from any corner of the world, then we can have these places utilized for the devotees to reside here. So we need the help from whole Gaudiya Vaishnava community to support this noble endeavor. This is a brief thing I wanted to specify. Now I request His Holiness Bhakti Prachar Maharaj to say a few words on this.
Hare Krishna. Am I audible at the back? Hari Bol. Namong Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunnavadi Paschatta Deshatarine Vancha Kalpataru Bhasya Kripa Sindhu Bhayevacha Patitanang Pavanebho Vaishnavebho Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Navadvip Dham ki. So how many of you have come for the first time to do Navadvip Mandal Parikrama? Okay. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur predicted that by performing Navadvip Mandal Parikrama, whole world will be liberated. So do you believe that? So for that we have to create the facilities. It is said that in the whole universe, Bharatvarsha is the best place. And in Bharatvarsha, the state of Bengal is the best place. And in Bengal, Nadia district is the best place. Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains. And in Nadia district, Navadvip Dham is the best place. And we say, our interpretation, in Navadvip Dham, ISKCON Mayapur is the best place. So, this is a very, very important place. As Ramanipati Prabhu explained, we need to preserve, we have to develop, maintain all these places, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan movement is going to continue for next 10,000 years. We should think for the future, just like Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He did a lot of service for Navadvip Mandal. He developed many places. His son, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, also developed so many places in Navadvip Dham. So our ISKCON founder Acharya, His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, wanted also that this dham should be developed. So under the guidance of His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, a team of devotees are working on this project. Lot of things to be done. Ramanipati Prabhu already explained. So how many of you feel that this is very, very important service for Srila Prabhupada? So Prabhupada wanted to build a TOBP, his dream project. But along with that, we have to have a wonderful holy places around, which is known as Navadvip Mandal. so that devotees can go and take the mercy of all these islands. It is said if we reside in each and every island, then parikrama is complete. So now what you are doing every day, you are going by boat, going by buses, and come back to your place of residence here. It's more comfortable. But during Gaur Purnima time, devotees, they don't come back. They go out and stay at different islands for 7 nights. So not little, very austere for many devotees. That's why His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj wanted that we should have our own place so that our campsite should become a permanent place, so that devotees will feel inspired also to stay in that campsite and stay overnight to get the complete benefit of doing Navadvip Mandal Parikrama. Now we are doing Parikrama mainly during Gaur Purnima time, but it is expected that this Parikrama will happen throughout the year. So thousands and thousands and millions of devotees will come to Siddham Mayapur, and that was the idea of Srila Prabhupada. He wanted to attract the whole world to Siddham Mayapur, and Navadvip Mandal Parikrama will be the wonderful way to attract people from all over the world to Siddham Mayapur. So time is limited, so I request all of you, please be part of this wonderful endeavor as desired by Srila Prabhupada and the previous Acharyas. And for further details, Ramanipadipu will make some announcement at the end. Now I would like to request His Holiness Bhakti Purushottam Swami Maharaj to say some words about this project. He is a leader of our team. So under his leadership, we are trying to do some seva for this Navadvip Mandal development. So request Bhakti Purushottam Swami Maharaj to give his inspirational words.
Very well. Oh, Hare Krishna. Jai Navadvip Dham ki. So Maharaj explained very nicely to you that how important is Navadvip Dham. This is the best place on the earthly planet. All of you agree with this? But one thing I'll tell you. Whatever Maharaj spoke, he spoke from Shastra. But if you read Shastra, when Shastra speaks about Vrindavan, and Shastra says, oh, Vrindavan, there's no place equal to Vrindavan. Vrindavan is the topmost place on the earthly planet. The next chapter about Dwaraka. Oh, Dwaraka is the best place. Nothing equal to Dwaraka. The next about Ajodhya. Same thing. Every chapter, same different Purana speaks, and same Purana, different chapter says, nothing equal to this place. So what is the great? Have you taken laddu? How many of you taken laddu in your life? So I'll ask a question to you. Which part of laddu is very tasty for you? Which side of laddu? Huh? Anywhere you bite, very tasty, isn't it? It's like that. All dhams are tasty, all transcendental, like biting any part of the laddu. So, actually the writers, Purana writers, why they speak like this? Because whichever dham they explain, they get so much engrossed. They think, oh, this must be the best, top place on the earthly planet. The mood they reveal. But today, I'll tell you how Navadvip Dham is really the top place on the earthly planet. You know about Dwaraka. Dwaraka is Aishwarya Dham. Bhagavan has a lot of Aishwarya. You getting any share out of that? Are you getting anything? From Dwaraka, Bhagavan's Aishwarya, he is enjoying Aishwarya. So what I have to do? What I get there? Then Vrindavan Dham, Madhurya. So Bhagavan, he is releasing all the love of Brajavasis. Okay, you release love. What I get out of it? But when that Bhagavan come to Navadvip Dham, What is doing? Anarpita charingchirat karunaya avatinna kalo samarpaitum. Dwaraka not to give, to take. Vrindavan not to give, to receive. But Navadvip Dham Bhagavan is coming to give, samarpaitum. Arpita means to give, samarpaitum means completely. Urnata Ujjala Rasa Swabhakti Sriyam. So thus, this Dham is really great. And Prabhupada has left the gold mine for us, so that we cannot finish. For next 10,000 years, we can enjoy these gold mines. You are all doing Navadvip Parikrama. Are you enjoying, happy? Yes? So what Prabhupada has left for us, he has left for us a mine, mines of Ananda. Mines of Ananda. We just have to explore this, excavate these mines of Ananda. And now we are exploring Gauramandal Parikrama. Gauramandala Bhumi, Jebajane Chintamani, Tar Hai, Brajabhumi Bas. I just completed 7 days Gauramandal Parikrama. Oh, so much bliss and bliss. Those ancient place where Narottam Das Thakur, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, Srikhanda, all those places, so much surcharged with this spiritual potential and bliss. I was feeling that Prabhupada has left, really he has left mines of anandas for us. So which will not finish for next 10,000 years. But that need to be discovered, they need to be protected. As Prabhu was telling, we have Amghata, where beautiful pastimes of Mahaprabhu took place. Well, all mango trees they are cutting because land is not belongs to us. Jannumani Ashram, there they have built chicken poultry over there. So that's why all these places needs to be protected. And Srila Prabhupada took this project so seriously. He created a separate trust for this. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Charity Trust. He kept some Gaudiya Math Maharaj, his god brothers. And he kept it separately from ISKCON, so that separately this will grow. So this Bhakti Vedanta Swami Charity Trust, so dear to Srila Prabhupada, he kept his Guru Dakshina as FD. With that interest, we can take care of all these places not maintained nicely or getting lost. But that fund is very negligible for now. So if we want to protect all these minds of love and bliss, then we have to work on this. And we have also created a new trust, Navadvip Mandal Development Trust. So we are requesting the whole world, please participate. Otherwise, what will be the loss? What will be the problem? There is no loss for you. You are going and enjoying. But for the devotee of our next generation, that place will not exist. Then where they will go, where they will sit, where they will hear katha. So please think whether is this our responsibility or not, to protect and maintain all these great places where our previous Acharyas, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself, he had so beautiful, sweet pastimes. Unless you go there, you will not understand. So now we have developed this Navadvip Parikrama, which started by walking by Loknath Swami Maharaj, His Holiness Loknath Swami Maharaj. Now last year, 12,000 devotees came here. Whole world will come to Navadvip Dham. So now from this year, we are exploring how to promote Gauramandal Bhumi Parikrama. Gauramandal Bhumi, Jevajane Chintamani, Tar Hai, Brajabhumi Bas. When Gauramandal Parikrama will start, how many of you will join Gauramandal Parikrama? Raise your hands. Jai Gauramandal Bhumi ki Jai. Thank you so much. So I will not take more time. Maharaj will give his offerings on Prabhupada. So please communicate from different parts of the world. Devotees and different temples also, they are taking up one project. So so that you feel satisfaction. Because I have seen how these Bhaktivinoda Swami Charitras are developing, complete dilapidated, broken, no place. There will be new building, Srinivas Acharya's place in Jajigram, many places. And that is our responsibility. Great legacy that Prabhupada has left for us. And we have to fulfill the desire of Srila Prabhupada. Jai Gaur Mandal Bhumi ki, Navadvip Mandal Bhumi ki, Sri Kshetra Mandal Bhumi ki, Braja Mandal ki, Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Thank you, Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj and Bhakti Parivrajak Swami Maharaj and Ramanipati Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. So this is Ramanipati Prabhu. He is the secretary of our team. He is traveling different parts of India and the world to promote Navadvip Mandal and Gaur Mandal Bhumi. So I request the Yatra leaders of different Yatras from all over the world so that he can go to your places and give a detailed presentations and according to your desire, be part of the development of this Navadvip Mandal and Gaur Mandal Bhumi. Hare Krishna. Navadvip Mandal Parikrama ki jai, Gaur Mandal Bhumi ki jai.
Thank you. So now we shall begin our second session of glorification of Srila Prabhupada. We will begin with Parivrajak Maharaj giving his offering first.
Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunnavadi Paschatta Dishatarine. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki. So today is very, very auspicious day. So it is said that disappearance day of the spiritual master, the Acharyas, gives a mixed feeling of happiness and sadness. Why it is happy moment? Because they have gone to the eternal pastimes of Krishna. Because of that, we feel very, very happy. But we feel very sad because we lose the opportunity to get the association, physical association of those great personalities. So His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, departed from this material world, departed from his physical body in Holy Dham of Vrindavan on this auspicious day. And Muhurta is also coming around 7:25 is the Muhurta of Srila Prabhupada's disappearance from this world. Actually, Acharyas, they never disappear. They live eternally. Srila Prabhupada said, I live forever in my books. So as long as Srila Prabhupada's books will be there, he will continue to live. I heard somewhere that it is explained if all the temples of ISKCON are closed, but book distribution continues, this Sankirtan movement will continue. So by this we can understand the importance of Srila Prabhupada's books. I was hearing a very wonderful narration that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu kept love of Godhead in the holy water of river Padma. For Narottam Das Thakur, and Narottam Das Thakur came and got that love of Godhead from the holy water of river Padma. Then by hearing that, devotees feel where Mahaprabhu has kept love of Godhead for us. So one devotee was beautifully narrating that Mahaprabhu has given that responsibility to Srila Prabhupada, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, and Srila Prabhupada has kept that love of Godhead, Krishna Prema, in his Bhaktivedanta purports. So if we want to experience love of Godhead, then we have to dive into the water, divine water of divine Bhaktivedanta purports. So books are the basis. Prabhupada used to say, ISKCON is my body, BBT is my heart, and ISKCON money is my blood. And there is a very strong connection between these three. And Prabhupada says, if book distribution stops, my movement will stop. How? Because if ISKCON does not take books from BBT, then money from ISKCON will not go to BBT. ISKCON is the body and BBT is the heart. If there is no flow of blood in the heart, what will happen? The body will die. In the same way, if ISKCON stops distributing Srila Prabhupada's books, then there will not be any flow of money from ISKCON to BBT, and BBT is the heart of Srila Prabhupada's body, then BBT will stop functioning. And if BBT stops functioning, means heart of Srila Prabhupada's body will stop functioning. And what will happen? ISKCON will collapse. That's why books are very, very important. So I'll tell one story about the expertise of Srila Prabhupada. Although he was a pure devotee, but he was very, very expert in dealing with the devotees. So one devotee, one disciple of him came to know that Srila Prabhupada was planning to make him the temple president. That time becoming temple president is not so inspirational like in India. It's a very difficult service. You have to do so many things to become a temple president. And that devotee decided that he will not become temple president. And he has listed the different points what he will discuss with Srila Prabhupada when Prabhupada will give him the proposal to become temple president. So he was called by Srila Prabhupada and he was ready with the arguments because he was completely prepared. But he did not understand that he was dealing with Srila Prabhupada. So as soon as he came in, Prabhupada started talking. And he was ready that Prabhupada will come up with the proposal to make him the temple president. But Prabhupada started a totally new subject. Prabhupada told that I am thinking to give you sannyas. He said, Prabhupada, how can I take sannyas? I just got married. He said, no problem. Krishna will take care. So Prabhupada was giving argument why he should take sannyas, and he was trying to give argument why he should not take sannyas. Then argument was going on and on and on. Then that devotee said to Srila Prabhupada that Prabhupada, I am ready to do anything except becoming a sannyasi. Then Prabhupada said, become temple president. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So on this auspicious day, we beg the mercy of Srila Prabhupada so that we can continue in the mood Prabhupada wanted us to follow and continue his legacy. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Parivajak Maharaj. Now I would like to request His Grace Tribhangananda Prabhu. Please come on the stage. And while he is making his offering, I would also like to request three of our illustrious ladies present here. It's a great fortune for us. Denatarini Mataji, Mandakini Mataji, and Jyotirmay Mataji. After Trivagananda Prabhu makes his offering, you are all requested to come on the stage and make your offering.
Hare Krishna. So in time-honored style, Hare Krishna! Hare Krishna! Krishna Krishna! Hare Hare! Hare Rama! Hare Rama! Rama Rama! Hare Hare! That's good. Hare Krishna. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prastaya Bhutale, Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane. Namaste Saraswati Deve, Gauravani Pracharine, Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Pastyacha Deshatarine. That's an excuse to give me something to think about what I should speak about. So tonight, we are very much blessed by Srila Prabhupada having the chance to offer some appreciation and glorification of him. Because in truth, we owe everything to Srila Prabhupada. That is the simple fact. None of us would be here if it wasn't for his divine grace, having kindly tried to rescue us from our unfortunate material existence. And Srila Prabhupada has performed miracles. This is a fact. So, what is the role of the Acharya? The Acharya, he's coming on behalf of Krishna. He's coming on behalf of his own Guru Maharaj. And actually, all the Acharyas are coming in the line from Sri Krishna. Because Lord Krishna has declared 4 blessings in Bhagavad Gita, that one who explains this confidential secret of bhakti to the devotees, Krishna has expressed his heart. He's expressed that there isn't anyone more dear to me than he in this whole world. And there will never be anyone more dear to me in this world. You've read this in Bhagavad Gita, after Sarva Dharmam Parityajya. And then he says, and for someone who does this explaining this secret of pure devotional service, not only I will take responsibility for giving them pure devotional service, but also I will take responsibility for bringing them back home, back to me. So actually it is the state of affairs just like the monkey or the kitten. The baby monkey is trying to hold on to the mother, and it depends on his strength. But the kitten is in the mouth of the mother cat and is protected by the mother. So Srila Prabhupada is also giving us the example of how to be under Krishna's protection, because he is fully protected by Lord Krishna. And if he wasn't fully protected by Lord Krishna, how would it be that he could take responsibility for freeing us from all our karma? Prabhupada is giving us the opportunity to actually get rid of all our sinful reactions since how many unlimited billions of births, how many kalpas, how many days of Brahmas we've wasted wandering around Brahma Bhumite Brahmanda, from one manifestation of universe to another, while we fiddle about in the material world, trying to find novel ways of enjoying our senses. So, as we read and study what Srila Prabhupada is actually giving us, he's giving us, and he's requesting us, please take it. Take what I'm giving you. And as we read and try to digest and discuss the topics that Prabhupada is revealing to us, then this whole subject matter becomes so fresh and illuminating. It was a long time before I actually twigged, as the saying goes, what Prabhupada meant when he was talking about lording it over the material world. Because, we're just little people here. How can we be the lords of the material world? But still, it's the mentality of seeing everything with a view to enjoy this material world, that actually the world is meant for my enjoyment. So a man looks at a beautiful woman, a woman looks at a handsome man, and with a view to taking that energy and becoming the Lord, the enjoyer. So Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, in his Brahma Samhita, he puts it in a very nice turn of phrase. He describes our materialistic mentality as we have a sensuous gaze of inspection. And this is the meaning, actually. We're looking at this material world with the misconception, which is so deeply ingrained in our hearts and minds, that we become totally convinced, and it is so hard to unconvince us of this diseased condition. But this is what Srila Prabhupada is trying to help us achieve, is freedom from this ignorance, freedom from this basic misunderstanding in our consciousness that somehow or other we can enjoy, and in this way lord it over the material energy. Why is that a mistake? Because it is Krishna's material energy. It is Krishna who is engaging his different energies. And in our forgetfulness, we are bewildered and illusioned by Krishna's energy, actually. This is the mistake. So we are so steeped in misconceptions, and the process of Krishna consciousness that Prabhupada is giving us by giving us transcendental knowledge is to actually liberate us from our misconceptions of life. So we can actually remove the veil of Maya from our eyes and learn to see things from Krishna's point of view. This is why Krishna is speaking Bhagavad Gita, to give us his perspective on the world. And this is why we study the Srimad Bhagavatam, to see how the devotees reveal the loving actual relationship with Krishna. And how in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, as it was being described the other day, how not just Krishna's words and not just the words of the devotees who have been given darshan of Krishna's existence and Krishna's relationship, but actually Chaitanya Charitamrita is giving us insight into Krishna's thinking. How does Krishna think? What is he seeing? And Krishna's thinking, Krishna's words are so potent and so powerful that actually they can attract our hearts and minds so that we become gradually, sometimes a bit too gradually, awakened from our unfortunate existence. So what Prabhupada is revealing in his teachings to us is the opportunity to actually make complete sense of our lives and the opportunity to help others make complete sense of our otherwise senseless lives. This world is going on in such a state. It is so much steeped in trying to lord it over the other living beings, lord it over the land, lord it over the facilities, and becoming even more, ever more steeped in the modes of passion and ignorance, and engaging in mercilessly slaughtering each other physically and slaughtering our mentalities by feeding us with the most atheistic garbage and the most impersonal perspective of life. Actually, this is slaughtering business. And when we talk about Prabhupada saving us, actually we're talking about Prabhupada trying to free us from the depths of repeated birth and death again and again and again, and sinking down in a society which doesn't have any real hope of being elevated to a higher status of life. Look at what is happening in the world. Is there possibility that the world population, the so-called civilization, is going to become elevated by their activities? Is it possible? Is there any piety there? So, just on one point, I'm in the UK, I must admit, I'm in and out of prison quite a lot. It's unfortunate to see how people are suffering in the prisons, but at least we're trying to do something about it by taking boxes and boxes of Prabhupada's books into the prison. So it's always nice when they let me out again. But actually, this prison house existence is so hellish. And what is the situation? In one prison, going through so many gates with 20-foot high barbed wire fences and through one set of gates, accompanied by a guard, and another set of gates, and another set of gates. And I got to talk with one of the prisoners and asked him, said, "So how do you find life here?" And he said, "Oh, you get used to it." This is the problem. We've got used to living in a material nonsense existence. And Prabhupada is trying to rattle our cages. Wake up! Come back to Krishna's lotus feet. Take shelter of the Lord who wants you home so much. Wake up and understand that Krishna loves you and that real happiness can only come from having a reciprocating, loving relationship with Krishna. So this is Srila Prabhupada's kind gift to the whole world. And we can be very fortunate to take it ourselves and to take heed of Krishna's promise at the end of the Bhagavad Gita that we can also take advantage of these 4 blessings, becoming most dear to Krishna, becoming someone who Krishna will never feel is more dear to him. We can get not just mixed up devotional service, but pure devotional service, which is what Prabhupada is trying to give us. Not mixed with anything else, just pure bhakti. And take advantage of Krishna's promise that in the end we will come back to him. So this is what Srila Prabhupada is so kindly and mercifully trying to give us. So let us take advantage of this and try to take it with both hands and give it with both hands to whoever we possibly can, and please Srila Prabhupada in this way by assisting him in his mission of spreading Krishna consciousness all over the world. So I thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, dear Tribangananda Prabhu. I would now request the ladies to please come on the stage.
Anatimirandasya Yanajana Salakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Ma Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namane. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. So before I begin, I have to ask your indulgence. I'm a little under the weather, so It may not be as clear as I would like to be, but the other day I was thinking about this story. I actually told it to a few devotees. It's something that has profound meaning to me, but not at the time. It took some time to realize it. I call it the marigold story. So I came to India first in September of 1973. And at that time, you could come into India for 21 days without a visa, but then you had to get a visa if you wanted to stay. And so I was on my way to Nepal to get a visa, and I stopped at the Delhi temple. At that time, they had just moved into a new temple in Delhi, and so, as you can imagine, there was some uncertainty, some chaos there. But Srila Prabhupada had come there, and of course I had been initiated and I had seen Srila Prabhupada in India, in America, but this was the first time I had his darshan in India. So when I arrived and came into the temple room, there was a kirtan going on, and I could just see Srila Prabhupada's face, that there was some displeasure there. It's difficult to explain, but if you've seen that, you would remember it. So at that time, right in the middle of the kirtan that was going on, Jamuna Devi walked into the temple room, and Srila Prabhupada stopped the kirtan immediately. And preface this by saying that Jamuna Devi and her husband were stationed in Vrindavan. They weren't really a part of the Delhi temple at that time. They were working on serving in Vrindavan, but Jamuna had come for some service to Delhi. So she came into the room. I had never seen Jamuna Devi before at this time. She came into the room. Srila Prabhupada stopped the kirtan, looked over at her and said, "How could you have let this happen?" And she was stunned. And again he said, "How could you have let this happen?" And then he said, "You have left Krishna sitting on the fence post." And she was stunned. She still didn't know what he was speaking about. She was still stunned. "You have left Krishna sitting on the fence post." He said, just as like when you have a guest comes to your house, you invite them in, you give them a nice place to sit, you offer some water or some prasad, something like that to receive the guest, but you have left Krishna sitting on the fence post. So Yamuna was stunned because this was not their temple. And so she was trying to defend herself by saying, "Srila Prabhupada, I'm just a visitor here. I'm just visiting, just come to visit." Srila Prabhupada looked at her and he said in a very strong voice, "But I have trained you. I have trained you." And then he looked at the deities, Sri Radha Parasarati. I'll never forget this, it's so profound to me. He looked at the deities, these beautiful deities, and he said, "You can say, here is a stone statue. Let me offer a rubbish garland to this stone statue." And then he said, "And Krishna will not mind." He said, "But he will remain a stone statue to you forever." And so then, at that time, I was too immature and young to really understand the importance of that, the profound impact that had both on my life and then on Yamuna's life, because what he was imparting was that when Srila Prabhupada trained any of us in any aspect of worship, of seva, he expected us to propagate that everywhere and to then teach what we have learned, what we have been given. So although the circumstances were very unusual, she really didn't have input into the deity worship there at that time. Srila Prabhupada was emphasizing that I have trained you, and therefore you must train others. You must go out and you must train others. And Yamuna Devi embraced that concept. I'll have to add, Srila Prabhupada was always a little bit strict with her in training her in so many facets of devotional life. This training is so important for all of us because the example that we set in our own seva, that will be imparted to the next generations that also come. So that was my first India introduction to Srila Prabhupada and to Yamuna Devi. So later on, Yamuna told so many stories over the years of times Srila Prabhupada chastised her in the guise of wanting her to dive more deeply into bhakti yoga, into the practice of devotional service on an internal level. So on another occasion, this was before that, now I was remembering how Srila Prabhupada, today I was thinking about this a lot, how Srila Prabhupada is always with us if we keep him in our hearts. And I was thinking of the story that was so often told by Yamuna when they were at the Magh Mela. And Yamuna had the habit of always sitting right in front of Srila Prabhupada. She would take notes or she would record him. And I still have some of those notebooks, little tiny writing, very careful, little tiny, almost verbatim what he was saying. She was very, very attentive to that. And one day during the Magh Mela, a godbrother asked her to sit in the back because the etiquette there was that the women were sitting in the back. So he reminded her of that. The next day, Yamuna was sitting in the back, and after the program was over, Srila Prabhupada came up to her and he said, "You do not like what I am speaking?" And of course, she immediately began crying. And she said, "I love it so much, Srila Prabhupada." At that time, he was speaking about Ajamil. And it was the first time that many of us had ever heard that. I wasn't there then, but it was the first time, and it was so riveting to the devotees that they anxiously came each morning to hear the next chapter in the history of the life of Ajamil. So Yamuna began crying, and she said, "I love hearing this so much, Srila Prabhupada." But she was feeling separation from Srila Prabhupada just because she was sitting farther away from him. So she asked him at that time, "Srila Prabhupada, how much association did you have with your spiritual master?" And Srila Prabhupada immediately answered, "I have not been away from him, not for 1 minute." So, in a very pronounced way, he said, "I've not been away from him, not for 1 minute." And she said, but really, how much personal association did you have with him? And Srila Prabhupada said, "Not much." He said, "Only 5 or 6 times." He said, "But we walked and we talked so many things." So he said, those who think that personal association with the spiritual master is all in all are just like mosquitoes on the lap of a king. And what is the business of a mosquito? To bite the king. So Srila Prabhupada was emblematic in every way of what it means to keep the spiritual master always at the forefront of our hearts. And we are so fortunate that so many devotees are doing that, and generations are learning about Srila Prabhupada. It gives me such great joy, and it's such an honor to see so many devotees learning about Srila Prabhupada. His contribution was just astonishing. So I'll finish by telling one humorous story, because when I was a young devotee, before I had spent any time with Srila Prabhupada, I had a dogmatic conception of who Srila Prabhupada was. So it was kind of like he would give these edicts. You know, he would give some instruction, and I would think, well, there's no personality there. It's just that he is, you know, just instructions and, you know, how to practice devotional service. And I didn't really see him in his personal side. That was why I went to India initially, because I had to see for myself that Srila Prabhupada was just the most extraordinary personality, aside from him being a Mahabhagavata, aside from his scholarship, aside from his compassion, his love for the devotees. He also had a wonderful sense of humor. He was amazing with the metaphors, just so wonderful to hear. And you can still hear all of this from his tapes and from the film that there is from him. But I will tell this one story of his humor. This was in 1975. Jamuna and I were staying in Oregon, and our temple was just a little trailer. It wasn't very big at all. There was one room for the deities, and then one room for everything else, sewing, living, everything else, and then the kitchen was very small. And so when we went to, one of my dear godbrothers had arranged that every morning when he was in Los Angeles, Jamuna and I would sit with him for an hour before Mangalarti. And those were some of the sweetest and most endearing times of my life. So this one day, we were sitting there with Srila Prabhupada, and he said, "So how much do you pay for your ashram?" And we were a little bit proud of that because we had gotten it very inexpensively. So Yamuna said, "Only $100 a month, Srila Prabhupada." And Srila Prabhupada's eyes got very big. "So much?" He said, "I only pay 5 rupees a month for my rooms in Vrindavan." You know? And then he said, "Do you have a veranda?" And we said, "Yes, we have a veranda, Srila Prabhupada. There was a porch built on it." "Very nice," he said, "very nice." And then he said, Jamuna said, "Srila Prabhupada, it's very small, but it is very clean." Srila Prabhupada said, that is very nice. And he said, "You don't need a large place." He said, "You can just take a room," and he said, "make it clean, sweep like this, put a table and some flowers in there, then you can bring an old man like me in, and he'll feel just like a bridegroom." And then he laughed, and then he said, "Old man like me, he'll feel just like a bridegroom." And he laughed again. So he was teasing us a little bit, and it's just one facet of the multifaceted beauty of Srila Prabhupada in all ways and in all areas. never to be forgotten, that his sense of humor was something to behold, and we all appreciated it very much. So on this day, 47 years, my goodness, I hope that all of you are able to truly imbibe the mercy that you've been given by Srila Prabhupada and by his disciples. This is the greatest blessing. We are the most fortunate persons on this planet, perhaps even in the heavenly planets where devotees want to come here. So I thank you for allowing me to share these few little tidbits of memories. Very honored to be among you, and just very thankful and very grateful. So thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So I will keep on telling you how it was extraordinary to have Prabhupada's example in order to know how to best behave in Krishna consciousness and how to best preach. So I have two other stories about that. It was so much following his example that sometimes whenever I was in a difficult situation, I had a difficult decision to take, I would think, what would Prabhupada say in this situation? What would Prabhupada do in this situation? And I was trying to think like that so that I would have the best behavior. So this story is about how Prabhupada was so practical and how he knew how to react, like I was telling you this morning, in front of different circumstances. So that was a pretty proud one. So we wanted Prabhupada to be able to give a lecture in one of the most famous places in Paris. And one of the most famous places in Paris was called the Salle Pleyel. It was not an enormous place like here. It was only 2,000 people could sit there and listen. But for us, being in France for such a short time, to have a place where Prabhupada would talk, where there could be 2,000 people, that was very, very extraordinary. So we got that place. Plus, that place was also so famous because it was a conference hall, but also a concert hall, where, maybe not all of you know them, but the American and the European people, they know them. The very famous singer, Ray Charles, sang there, and the Rolling Stones sang there. So that was very, very famous. So now we had this famous place, but now we needed to fill it up. So in order to fill up that place, I had arranged that we would have enormous posters of Prabhupada being posted all over Paris. So even after Prabhupada's conference, you walk around Paris and you see Prabhupada's face still in the posters. It was wonderful. So finally, the day comes. So I was anxious. How many people are going to be there? And there was 1,800 people. The place was almost filled. So that was a success. So Prabhupada is installed there, he's sitting there with all the devotees, where he did a wonderful kirtan, and then he starts the lecture. So I was translating, so Prabhupada is lecturing, it goes very nicely. And then suddenly he says something which is for the French people is not good at all. He talked about the authority of the king. But for those of you who know about European history, the French people, they had a revolution to get the kings out. So when they heard about the authority of a king, they got disturbed, and especially that it was towards the end of the lecture. There was a certain amount of people who were sitting in the back of the lecturing hall, and they're starting to make all kind of noises, bad noises. And in fact, I found out the reason why is because at that time, of course, only our generation knows about that, but at that time, in France, a lot of young people were communists. And communists are, of course, full atheists. They don't believe in any God. So when they heard and talking about God, Krishna, God's authority, they started to make so much noise that, and one of them challenged Prabhupada, and he said something like, I don't remember exact word, but he said, "Why are you sitting on the throne?" Because we had brought Prabhupada's Yasasan, you know. But he said it in such a way that when I translated to Prabhupada what he said, Prabhupada, I didn't say exactly what Prabhupada said. You know, I made it a little less bad. And Prabhupada said, no, tell me exactly what he said. Ooh, so I had to say exactly what Prabhupada said. I was so embarrassed to tell him. But Prabhupada is so good at knowing when he's challenged, you know. He just knows how to defeat the person in a few words, you know. So that's one example that I always followed. And he said, but you can sit on this throne. Just come and talk about spiritual life. And you come and sit here. And he invited him to come and sit. So the person just didn't know what to say anymore. The noise stopped, you know. And then Prabhupada said, okay, now the lecture is finished. Let's have kirtan. So we had kirtan, we distributed prasadam. But then, and that's why I was telling you this morning, our Prabhupada, he was so practical. He knew how to adapt to any situation. You know? So he said, okay, we were in the car going back to the temple together. And Prabhupada said, okay, now when I come to France, you don't give me the Vyasasan anymore. You just give me a regular armchair. So it's so wonderful. It was such an example. You know, I was telling you how we had so much to learn how to, in our preaching, how to react to different situations, you know. And I followed like that Prabhupada's example. So that then later, I was giving a lot of lectures in universities, you know, in Paris. And sometimes I was pretty much challenged by the students. But because I had seen how Prabhupada did, I just would defeat that challenge in just a few words in the same way. But I learned that from Prabhupada. So the second story is also how to adapt the different situation in the way Prabhupada did it. So that was in a Gurukul. I was the head of a Gurukul in New Mayapur at that time. And that was that Gurukul. So, and I noticed that when I took on the direction of the Gurukul, there was someone before me, did it for 6 months, and then I came and I did it for many years. So I noticed this is strange, that the children were in the temple room with the devotees, children, you know, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, you know, really, really young children. They were in the temple room during japa time and trying to chant japa on beads along with the other devotees, and it was really not working, you know, 5 years old children. So I decided, no, that's not good, because Prabhupada had already, in other Gurukuls, he had told the devotees, because, you know, some things were not doing very well, and he had chastised them, and he said, no, you must always use your common sense. So I thought, okay, I use my common sense. How am I going to do with these children? So I decided, okay, now the children, instead of having the 108 beads, you know, like we have, it will be only 1/4, you know, so that's easier for them. And they get very enthused when they say, I have finished a round. So I did that, and they like to chant japa, but in a kind of special rhythm that they invented, So, okay, we were chanting in that special rhythm, the way they did it. So I was taking all my Gurukul kids during the japa time, and on one side of the temple, we were chanting like that, in their rhythm and with their small beads, small 1/4 of a bead, the regular japa beads. And then all the devotees were telling me, but what is this? You are changing things. Why are you changing things? They were really kind of angry at me that I was doing it in that way. This is not normal. But I kept on doing it because Prabhupada said, use your common sense, So then Prabhupada came to New Mayapur. And when he came, he wanted to see all the Gurukul children and all the teachers. So we all pack up in his room, and Prabhupada talks to them. And at one moment he said, now chant Hare Krishna. And so they started to chant Hare Krishna in that way, in that kind of singing rhythm. All of them are singing at the same time the same words. And Prabhupada loved it. And he said, yeah, keep on chanting, chant, chant, chant. And so much so that then he raised up and he told all the kids to stand up, and everybody kept on chanting and chanting. So again, he gave the example, he said, use your common sense. I followed what Prabhupada said, use your common sense, and it worked perfectly, and Prabhupada was very happy. So whose turn?
Om Atganatimilandasya Gyanam Shanam Sarakaya Shaksun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravane Pracharine Nirvisesa Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine. Ivison's Hill, who tells that Vaishnav dies when they are still living in sound, and while living try to spread the holy name around. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So I was thinking of a few stories also. Some stories of the feeling of separation. Then one story showing Prabhupada's sense of humor to remember him, and one story showing his compassion. So some stories of separation. We were actually discussing that story around lunch, and our dear Radha Swami says you should tell it. So it's a short story. We have a lead, some devotee who was a big leader in ISKCON. But we know that devotional life is not always easy. And sometimes we fall prey to the illusion. And he came to a point, he actually left ISKCON. So with a very dear God sister, Vishaka, at one point we visited him, and we started to talk, and he opened up. And at one point he said something that struck me and made me scared. He said, actually, I'm very angry at Srila Prabhupada for something very particular. And I was scared what I'm going to listen to. And he just said, actually, I'm very angry that Srila Prabhupada left us so early we were not ready for that. And that was very, very beautiful, because he had been a very, very powerful leader. And in that plea of separation, he was like a child, being angry at his dear beloved father. So that was very moving. Now, it's going to be a personal story about the feeling of separation. Srila Prabhupada had people cooking for him. And it was in my first years of Krishna consciousness, when we joined with my dear friend Jyotirmayi. We were friends from high school, then 1 year we didn't finish in university. We joined Krishna consciousness. Then we came to the temple in London. And I heard Prabhupada was saying something quite extraordinary. I would like to go to the spiritual world to eat loglu and kachoris. So I became very enthusiastic. And in London, we had a lot of very qualified lady guests. And I found somebody who knew how to make kachoris and how to make loglu. Then Prabhupada, at one point, was not feeling so well. Maybe it was 74, if I'm not mistaken. And he stayed in Bhaktivedanta Manor for almost 1 month. One wonderful Vaishnavi, Himavati, Devidasi, was supposed to cook for him, but somehow she declined. And I was approached and asked to cook for Srila Prabhupada. So I felt very unqualified, but it was such a wonderful experience. And every day we had to cook for Srila Prabhupada in this big, is it 3 or 4 layers? 3 or 4 layers, the brass cooker. How many? 3 or 4? 4 layers. So it was the principle of steam. In the beginning was the dal at the bottom. Then we had vegetables. One was going to be a dry veg, and the other a wet one. And on the top was the rice. And we had to make chapatis, so it's a lot of story about chapatis. Our dear Yamuna Devi had wonderful stories about chapati. So every day we could add anything else we wanted. Of course, there was bitter melon every day. And I was kind of making everything I learned from the wonderful Indian lady guest in our Bury Place temple. And one day I decided to make these famous kachoris. The same kachoris, I think, that when Yamuna Devi came the first time for the wedding of her sister, Janaki, Prabhupada asked her to help. And he was actually making, amongst all other preparations, kachoris. So I learned the green peas kachoris. I made them the way I was told. And I decided to bring them on the first floor, directed to Srila Prabhupada on an inox tray. So I knocked on the door, I brought the tray, and Srila Prabhupada's eyes became very, very big. And he says, Montakini, did you make kachoris? And I said, I tried, Srila Prabhupada. And when he said that, seeing his eyes, I could see the small child he was in Calcutta, going to the kachori seller and being so charming. They will put kachoris in his pocket. So that was very, very, very sweet. So Srila Prabhupada, with this cooking, he was actually teaching us, increasing our love for him and teaching us. If our consciousness was good, he would appreciate not only the taste, but the consciousness. But I'd experienced in my own devotional life, and Yamuna Devi also, maybe later in I can tell, sometimes if our consciousness was troubled, Prabhupada would do as if he was not appreciating the dish, a little chastising. So the spiritual master is always teaching in our devotional service. So the months went very, very quickly. Every day I was preparing different things I had learned from, my teachers, Yamuna and the Indian ladies. But except for the catchery, I didn't get much feedback. So I was wondering, does Srila Prabhupada like this preparation or not, It was taken every day, but not feedback, no bad, no good. And then time came for Srila Prabhupada to leave England. So it was starting to become very, very difficult to know that Prabhupada won't be here next day. Because when Prabhupada was in the temple, our whole life was centered around Srila Prabhupada. And I think a lot of Yamuna, because Dina is just here. Our dear Yamuna, she was actually carrying with her always Srila Prabhupada's presence. And Srila Prabhupada was always carrying Krishna's presence. When he was giving a lecture, sometimes it would be very short, quite simple in the beginning, based on how we are not this body. But it was like he was opening a little window on the spiritual world. We were all very convinced, at least during the time of the lecture, that we were not the body, we were not the mind, the false ego, the distorted intelligence. So Prabhupada was going to leave. And then I think it was Shrutakirti Prabhu, who was the servant at the time. He came quite late in the evening and he says, Mandakini, Srila Prabhupada wants you to make all this for the flight. And I was so surprised. It was just a big, big list of all the special preparations I'd been making during the months. So it was Prabhupada playing, making us a little anxious to know if we were able to please him. And at the end saying, yes, I'm pleased. I want this, I want that, etc. So it was late. I got a team of friends. And we started to cook for Srila Prabhupada for the plane. And he wanted something that we called, it was a red plum chutney. It was called Radha Red. And we had no red plums. So we went to the little village in England near London. It was called Letchmore Heath, for those of you who had been visited there. And the shop, the grocery shop, was closed. So we went to the house of the owner of the grocery shop, and we said, please, can you open your shop? Our spiritual master wants some red plums. And that was the mood at that time, when Srila Prabhupada was asking something. Nothing was impossible. Because our dear Rameshwara Prabhu, he may not be here now, but he made the experience that when he told Srila Prabhupada that printing in 2 months the whole Chaitanya Charitamrita was impossible, Srila Prabhupada very strictly told him, Impossible is a word in a fool's dictionary. So that's our philosophy. Nothing is impossible for the spiritual master and for Krishna. So we came back, we finished all the preparation, and then it was quite late at night, and I start realizing Srila Prabhupada is leaving, and that feeling of separation became very, very intense, very strong. I thought I won't be able to leave when he goes, you know. And then I looked at this cooker, brass cooker, and I went to the temple room and I started to polish that cooker like crazy. So it would become like gold. Then I thought tomorrow, Srila Prabhupada will be in the plane and he will ask for the prasadam. And it's going to be very extraordinary. It looks like gold. He's going to think, who did that? Then he will realize, it's my little stupid disciple Mandakini. And then we won't be separated for a little moment more. We will be together. So that was that strong feeling of separation. And it took a few days to go over. And by Krishna's grace, of course, I understood that serving the spiritual master, serving the mission, doing devotional service, reading his books, his translation, in that way we will never be separated. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. It's not finished, if I may. So, the two more stories. A story about Srila Prabhupada's sense of humor. He had a great sense of humor. And you may know that story, but it's so delightful. It was in India. One devotee came. I forgot his name. He became a great devotee. He came in the temple room. He wanted to meet Srila Prabhupada. And he just met an old man in the temple. So he said, I want to meet A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. So the old man told him, why do you want to meet A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami? He said, because he's a devotee of Lord Chaitanya. Then the old man says, who is Lord Chaitanya? So the guest, who was already very devotional, says, Lord Chaitanya is actually God, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And the old man says, no, you are wrong. Lord Chaitanya is not God. And then the guest became very angry. What are you saying? Of course, Lord Chaitanya is God. The old man said, why do you say that? He's not God. It says, the answer from the guest, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it says, and we cannot refute it, that Lord Chaitanya is actually Krishna himself. And they went on arguing, and the young man became more and more and more angry. And all of a sudden, some devotees came, and they started to bow down in front of the old man. And then the guest understood that it was actually Srila Prabhupada who was challenging him. And Prabhupada was so happy and he was laughing. And for a whole day, he told everyone, I'm so happy. I've been challenged by that young man. I lost, you know, he just defeated me. He was very, very pleased with it. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. And then the last story, you might know it. It's such a beautiful story. It's showing the compassion of Srila Prabhupada. I hope I didn't say it yet here. I told it all over Russia. It's the story of Mr. No, Mangulam. Who knows the story of Mr. Mangulam? No? Everybody's very polite, I think. Okay. So that story starts in Bangalore. Prabhupada had already left the planet. And it's an American devotee who is telling the story. His duty was life membership. And he didn't like it very much. He was not very successful in life membership. So, but at the time when the temple commander used to tell you to do some seva, we had to do it, even if we felt it was not our nature. In the West now, devotees are always asking to do seva according to the nature, and it's good. But at the time, we had to do what was needed, So he took the phone book. He thought, what can I do? This service is so difficult. Okay, I have an idea. I'm going to try to find in the phone book an Indian name. And he looked through the phone book and he found sorry, not Indian. He was in India, a Bengali name, Bengali. He said, if I find somebody from Bengal, they will become life member. They will be very proud of Srila Prabhupada, who comes from Bengal. So he looked. Ah, Mr. Mangulam, Bengali name. So he took the phone. Hello, Mr. Mangulam. I'm from ISKCON. I would like to meet you. I want you to become a life member. So Mr. Mangulam said, yes. Can you come tomorrow at 11 o'clock? So the devotee said yes. Next morning, he takes his presentation book, his book bag. He goes to the address. And he's very, very surprised. He comes in front of a very luxurious building. And he's a little worried. Nobody is going to become a life member here. But I have to go. So he goes to the desk. There is a very posh lady, very well dressed. And he says, well, I have a meeting with Mr. Mangulam at 11 o'clock. She looks, she takes the phone, and after a conversation, she tells the devotee, you go on the first floor. He goes on the first floor. Same scenario. He's received, he tells he has a meeting with Mr. Mangulam. The man takes the phone and tells him, you have to go to the third floor. And it goes on like that to the 10th floor. And every time, each floor is more and more luxurious. The people are more and more sophisticated. And he's reaching the 10th floor. And then he understands Mr. Mangulam is actually the big boss of that huge company. And he's feeling very nervous. His dhoti is not very white. His book bag has some holes. He doesn't feel at the right place, but nowhere to go around. So some secretary takes him to a door, knock on the door, and a voice says, come in. Then he sees all the big directors of the company meeting for having a big council meeting. and Mr. Mangulam is presiding. So Mr. Mangulam says, okay, our meeting is finished. Now I have to receive this ISKCON devotee. So everybody goes. He feels very uncomfortable. He's told to sit down. He sits down. And Mr. Mangulam says, yes, so you want to talk to me? So the devotee says, Mr. Mangulam, you are from Bengal. Our spiritual master, S.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, is also from Bengal. You must be very proud of him. So you have to become a life member. So Mr. Mangulam says, do I have to give a donation? He says, yes. How much? And at the time, maybe it was not so big, but no, I mean the opposite. Now it was not so big, but at the time it was very big. So he said 2,222 rupees. It's not very big, no? Is it very big? No. So Mr. Mangulam writes a check, gives the check, and the devotee looks, 10,000 rupees. So he's very surprised. He says, oh, Mr. Mangulam, it's very, very kind of you. Thank you very much. And Mr. Mangulam looks at him and says, well, you know, I was not very impressed by your speech. And the devotee says, me neither. And then he says, actually, I called you to tell you a story. When my father was just a small boy, he used to go to the kindergarten. And he had a little friend. They used to go with a bicycle. And they were very, very close to the other. And the little friend was actually your spiritual master, S.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Then they grew up and they started to play chess. And there was something they made up. They didn't play chess for money, but the winner was going to have lunch at the loser's home. So do you guess who was always winning? Yes, Srila Prabhupada, he was always winning. So he knew very well the house of the Mangulam. Then they became teenagers and young men. They went to university. And Mr. Mangulam was actually learning Sanskrit. And Prabhupada, who was Abhay at that time, told him, it's very good you are learning Sanskrit, because when I will do things, you will be able to help me. So his friend asked, which things? And Prabhupada didn't reply. And they lost each other. They didn't see each other anymore. So Mr. Mangulam became a very, very successful and famous Sanskrit teacher. And now he was becoming old and he had retired. He had a son who was studying at university. The son actually one day saw a big poster. S.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, it was in Calcutta at this time. S.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami is going to lecture in the Calcutta temple in Albert Road. He became very enthusiastic to go because all his life he had heard about Srila Prabhupada, because his father was very proud to tell everyone, you know, when I was a small child, I used to go on a bicycle with my friend who became the founder Acharya of ISKCON. And every time he would meet someone, he would say that. So the young son wanted to know who was Bhaktivedanta Swami. Then he went to the lecture. He sat in the front. And after the lecture, Srila Prabhupada spotted him because he looked exactly like his father when his father was young. So he says, "You are Mangulam. Where is your father?" And the young boy said, "Actually, he's not here." And Prabhupada told him, "Tell your father that I want to see him." So the young man says, yes. He went back home and he told the father, "You know, I went to listen to a lecture of your friend, S.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and he wants to see you." And the father said, "Oh, no, I cannot go. I feel too ashamed. He's a great saint, and I'm a Griyamedi. Actually, all my life, I just was after fame and money, and he's such a saintly person. I cannot see him. I'm too ashamed." Then the young man says, "But he's going to ask me, what should I say when I go back?" So father started to think and said, you can say that I am sick." And then the young man went to listen to the lecture. After the lecture, Prabhupada, of course, asked, "So, where is your father?" And the young man couldn't lie properly. He said, "My father is sick." But Prabhupada understood. So next morning, as Prabhupada used to do every morning, he took his morning walk, but he took a different path. And he was with a lot of devotees. He actually took the path to a house he used to know very well in his childhood and in his youth, to the house of the Mangulam. So it was a very aristocratic area, and everybody was looking, "Oh, this is the founder Acharya of ISKCON, and all the devotees are with him." And he stopped in front of the house and knocked. The servant came, and surprised to see so many devotees, he went to see Mr. Mangulam. And he told him, "Actually, the founder of ISKCON is there with the devotees. What shall we do?" So Mr. Mangulam, father, was shocked. And he says, "Of course, you have to let him in." But then he remembered he was supposed to be sick. So he went in bed. And so Prabhupada came in, he was offered some fruits, and then he came in the bedroom of his old friend, and they were speaking in Bengali, and he told him, "Oh, my poor friend, you are sick," you know, and they started to talk like if they met, the day before. And that beautiful friendship was revived. Mr. Mangulam told him the truth. He said, "Actually, I'm very ashamed. I'm a Griyamedi. I was looking all my life for money and for knowledge, money, fame. And you're such a pure devotee. I've wasted my life." And Srila Prabhupada said, "It's never too late. You have not wasted your life. It's not too late." Then, at that time, Mr. Mangulam's father thought, it's not too late. Prabhupada said, I will take you with me. It's not too late. And the Mangulam father thought, Prabhupada is going to take me to London. He's going to take me to New York. I have not wasted my life. I can serve Krishna. And he was so ecstatic. He was told to chant Hare Krishna. He started to chant. And when his son came home, he was so excited to tell him what happened, that I have not wasted my life. It's not too late. I'm going with Srila Prabhupada. He's taking me with him. And saying that, he actually took his last breath. He left his body in such an ecstatic consciousness. So let's go back in Bangalore, in that big, luxurious office. Then the son, Mr. Mangulam, told, for a long time, I thought that Prabhupada will take my father back with him to the West or to America. But now I understood that he took my father back home, back to Godhead. So then that man became very, very active in Krishna consciousness. He came to the temple. And that story is very, very instructive for all of us. It shows the infinite compassion of Srila Prabhupada. Like we heard yesterday, Maharaj was telling us the dealings of Lord Chaitanya, how he doesn't forget anyone, how he has a compassion infinite. Prabhupada's compassion was just like that. He didn't forget his old friend. And he came for him and he took him home back to Godhead. What to speak of all of you, of us, even if we don't do perfect service, Srila Prabhupada will never forget any little service, any little sincerity we try to offer, to our spiritual master, to Prabhupada, to Krishna. And another very interesting point also in that story is that Prabhu from America, he was not feeling qualified to do that service. But because he asked to be an instrument in the hands of Srila Prabhupada and the Lord, he actually did something very wonderful. So that story shows Srila Prabhupada infinite compassion, but of course we could talk for all our life of Srila Prabhupada's quality. Thank you very much to have allowed me to say a few words to remember our dear Srila Prabhupada. Now let us hear more from our dear Malati.
Hare Krishna. I'm sitting here like the bug on the lap of the king, which means, what can the bug do? Simply bite. I'm sitting with these extraordinary Vaishnavis, and I came to hear from them, and it has been extraordinary. I'm also a firm believer in following Prabhupada's example of punctuality and timeliness. And on the, the program for tonight, 7:20 is designated as the time for Jayani Lo. It's 7:23. So my head at everybody's feet. Hare Krishna, we will honor the time as Prabhupada would expect us to do, as he also did. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mandagini Mataji, Dinatarani Mataji, Jyotirmai Mataji, and Malati Mataji. So we will have Jayanilo Premadhana in honor of Prabhupada's disappearance. I would like to request His Holiness Radhana Swami Maharaj to kindly lead us in the singing of Jayanilo prayers. Light arrangement has to be closed here. Only focus light on the stage.
Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirbishesha Shunyavadi Bhastya Jadeshadharine. He who brought the treasure of divine love and who is filled with compassion and mercy, where has such a personality as Srinivasa Acharya gone? Where are Swarup Damodar and Rupa Goswami? Where is Sanatan? Where is Raghunath Das, the savior of the fallen? Where are Raghunath Bhatta and Gopal Bhatta? And where is Krishnadas Kaviraj? Where did Lord Gauranga, the great dancer, suddenly go? I will smash my head against the rock and enter into the fire. Where will I find Lord Gauranga, the reservoir of all wonderful qualities? Being unable to obtain the association of Lord Gauranga, accompanied by all of these devotees, in whose association he performed his pastimes, Narottam Das simply weeps. At this time, on this day, 47 years ago, in the supreme abode of Sri Vrindavan Dham, surrounded by hundreds of loving devotees who had offered their lives and souls for the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada performed the pastime of his disappearance day. The news of this concluding pastime of our beloved spiritual master, our life, our soul, our everything, spread throughout the world. At that time, our greatest enthusiasm was that Srila Prabhupada would be coming. Each temple, through book distribution, through Harinam Sankirtan, through deity worship, through preaching, everything we were doing was for Srila Prabhupada's pleasure. Many devotees felt profoundly lost. The senior-most devotees in our movement were hardly devotees for 10 or 11 years. Most, hardly 5 years. We remembered how Srila Prabhupada pleaded with us to carry on this mission of his Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, which was the mission of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. How was that possible without his physical presence? Actually, it was not possible. But Srila Prabhupada taught us impossible is a word in a fool's dictionary. From the very beginning of Srila Prabhupada's mission, he taught us that he may leave at any time. But he trusted us to carry on the mission of his Guru Maharaj. What is that mission? To love Krishna. And to share Srila Prabhupada's compassion for the world by giving others love for Krishna. To the degree we love Krishna, we could actually understand Krishna consciousness. We have heard today from so many how Srila Prabhupada put his heart, his soul, his life into his books, into his lectures, into his guidance and his instructions. And with those words, he was entrusting us with his divine grace. On that day, 47 years ago, we had to seek Srila Prabhupada's presence in the words of his books, his lectures, and his instructions. We had to seek Srila Prabhupada's presence within our hearts by sincerely striving to surrender, to follow his teachings, and to surrender to pleasing him by assisting him in the mission of his Guru Maharaj. When Srila Prabhupada was asked, how could we repay you for all that you've given us? He gave us the infinite glories of the highest realm of the spiritual world, of Goloka, Vrindavan, Navadvip, Mayapur. Srila Prabhupada said you could repay me simply by receiving what I'm giving you, by following my teachings and sharing it with all the world. We just heard from Mandakini Devi. As she was speaking, I was thinking, Srila Prabhupada all alone, with no resources, no funds, no place to live, no physical health. He boarded that cargo ship, Jaladuta, struggled alone for practically 1 year, and traveled the world. Translated, wrote purports for his books, practically constantly. And Srila Prabhupada would tell us he was simply repeating the words of his spiritual master and carrying out his mission. Srila Prabhupada's pastimes, unprecedented, unparalleled. Unfathomable to any of us. It was his love for Krishna, manifesting in his compassion to all beings. And how he inspired his followers to follow in his footsteps. One day, he asked Mandakini Devi, who was just a devotee for a couple of years, go to the Soviet Union, Russia, which was then the Iron Curtain, a communist regime where religion was practically illegal. He said, go there and establish my movement. And she went. Srila Prabhupada planted the seed and asked her to go there and water it. Today there are tens or hundreds and thousands of devotees in the Soviet Union. How did he inspire such love and such surrender? Because she recognized what Srila Prabhupada was giving to her and to all of us. This morning, close to Srila Prabhupada's Samadhi temple, I came upon the Samadhis of several of his disciples. What they have done following in Srila Prabhupada's footsteps. Their purity, their dedication, their surrender, their compassion. The Samadhi of His Holiness Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, His Holiness Gaur Govinda Swami Maharaj, His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj, His Holiness Sridhar Swami Maharaj, the Samadhi of His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj. These exalted, illustrious spiritual leaders Srila Prabhupada inspired in their hearts the spirit of His love and His compassion. And yes, they dedicated their lives and souls to assisting Srila Prabhupada. In Vrindavan, there are the Samadhis of Yamuna Devi, Brahmananda Maharaj, and next week will be the inauguration of the Samadhi Mandir for His Holiness Srila Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. We are feeling great separation in honoring and worshiping these great devotees. Because they gave their lives and souls to being a part of Srila Prabhupada's great mission of compassion. Yes, Srila Prabhupada, your mercy is all that we are made of. Let us pray. Let us pray with all our hearts on this holy day. That we can commit our lives to pleasing you as our highest purpose, our true priority in all of our choices, and especially in our interactions with one another. The Sankirtan movement inaugurated here in Navadvip Dham of the chanting of the holy names of Shri Radha and Krishna. Is a united effort Srila Prabhupada gave his life, his legacy in this movement, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. A society where we're here to encourage one another to sincerely and genuinely follow Srila Prabhupada's teachings for the purpose of loving service to Krishna. Essentially, nothing else in life has any lasting relevance. How could we love Krishna? How we can please Krishna by offering our gratitude to Srila Prabhupada, our Guru Parampara. By creating a community where Krishna really is in the center. Each devotee needs to sincerely take within our own hearts, in a very personal way, this responsibility, in the mood of being servant of the servant of the servant of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and our most esteemed, beloved Acharyas. Srila Prabhupada didn't ask for anything for himself. He just wanted us to love Krishna and help him to give love for Krishna to others. What pleases Srila Prabhupada and Krishna is simply what is for the ultimate good of each and one of us, each and every one of us. Yes, there's hypocrisy, there's quarrel, there's every reason to have doubts, to give up. To quarrel, to be disunited. To fall into the trappings of Maya. But what will protect us? And what will empower us is to keep this North Star, this compass, always in the direction of what will please Srila Prabhupada. Sometimes we feel that the more I feel the presence of Srila Prabhupada, the more we feel the depths of separation from Srila Prabhupada. And the more we feel the depths of that separation from Srila Prabhupada, the more we truly feel the presence of Srila Prabhupada. Let us chant together from our hearts, from our souls, with all sincerity. With one voice, with one spirit together. The prayer is for the departed Vaishnavas. Jaya Jaya Nilo Prema karuna prachur. Jeyanilo prematana karuna prachur. Heno Prabhu Kotha Kela Acharya Heno Prabhu Kotha Kela Acharya Mora Swarup Rupa Kaha Mora Swarup Rupa Kaha Sanatha Kahata Saragunata Patita Bhava Kahata Saragunata Patita Bhava Kahamora Bata Juga Kaha Kavira Eka Kole Kotha Kela Goranathara Hasane Kutiba Mata Anale Pasiba Gauranga Punera Nidhi Kotha Gele Pabo Se Sapa Sangira Sange Je Koi Lovila Se Sangha Napaya Kande Narotamoda Se Sangha Napaya Kande Narotamoda Jianilo Premadana Karuna Pracho Jianilo Premadana Karuna Pracho Eno Prabhu Kotha Gela Acharya Eno Prabhu Kotha Gela Acharya Thakur Since we have been here in Mayapur Dham, we have all personally witnessed the extraordinary miracle of the devotional service of Srila Jayapataka Swami Maharaj. What are his health conditions over years? And I'm feeling he witnessed Srila Prabhupada's love and compassion. And with his heart and life and soul, he has emulated There's just no impediment in material creation that will provide an excuse for him to impede his spreading of Srila Prabhupada's mercy to all of us and all of the world. Srila Prabhupada's life and the inspiration of the light he's put in the hearts of his true followers is very much Srila Prabhupada's presence in our life. In this spirit, let us chant the holy names for his pleasure. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada appealed to us to call out Krishna's holy names like a helpless baby in a time of the greatest need, crying out for mother. Death could come at any moment. The urgency to seek shelter of the holy names of the Lord is the culmination of all the Vedic teachings. Let us fill the universe with Srila Prabhupada and Lord Chaitanya Nityananda's compassion by loudly crying out this Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Louder, please. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The ultimate perfection of all religion is pure, unmotivated, uninterrupted love for God. Srila Prabhupada, on behalf of our Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Parampara, is not just giving us the essence of all religion, pure love of God, but the highest, the most inclusive, the sweetest expression of the love of the residents of Vrindavan for Sri Sri Radha Gopinath. Such a rare, priceless treasure. Everything else is insignificant when our hearts and our eyes are open to receive this gift and to share it. Very loudly, please, with great feeling. Advaita Acharya was chanting these holy names, crying out with compassion for all living beings. And this is how Srila Prabhupada taught us to follow in his footsteps. Everyone, please. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jayanilo Premadana Karuna Prachur Heno Prabhu Kota Kela Acharya Thakur
Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Krishna. Namamishwaram Sachidanandarupam Lasat kundalam gokule brajamanam. Yashoda bhiyoluta ladhavamanam paramrishtamatanta todritya gopya. Yashoda bhiyolukha ladhavamanam paramrishtamathyanta todritya gopya. Namamishwaram Sachidanandarupam Lasat kundalam gokule brajamanam. Yashoda bhiyolukha ladhavamanam paramrishtamathyanta todritya gopya. Rudantam muhurnetra yugmamrijantam karambhoj yugmena satanka netram. Mohoshvasakampa-trirekhanka-kantha Stitagraiva damodaram bhakti-badham. Mohoshvasakampa-trirekhanka-kantha Stitagraiva damodaram bhakti-badham. Iti drut-swalila-bhirananda-kunde Swaghosham nimajjantam akyapayantam. तदीयेषितज्ञेषु भक्तर्जितत्वं पुनः प्रेमतस्तं शतावृत्ति वन्दे तदीयेषितज्ञेषु भक्तर्जितत्वं पुनः प्रेमतस्तं शतावृत्ति वन्दे वरं देवमोक्षं न मोक्षं वधेम न चान्यमृणेऽहं वरेशदपीह इदं ते वपुर्नाथ गोपाल बालं सदा मे मनस्या विरास्तं किमन्ये इदं ते वपुर्नाथ गोपाल बालं सदा मे मनस्या विरास्तं किमन्ये इदं ते मुखाम्भोजम् अत्यन्तनीलय व्रतं कुन्तलैर्स्निग्ध रक्तश्च गोप्या मुहुश्चुम्बितं बिम्बरक्ताधरं मे मनस्या विरस्तामलं लक्ष्यलाभे मुहुश्चुम्बितं बिम्बरक्ताधरं मे मनस्या विरस्तामलं लक्ष्यलाभे नमो देव दामोदर अनंत विष्णु प्रसीद प्रभो दुःख जलाभिमग्नम् कृपादृष्टिदृष्ट्यापि दीनं बतानो ग्रहणेश मामज्ञामे दक्षिदृशा कुबेरात्मजौ बद्ध मूर्त्यवयद्व त्वया मोचितौ भक्ति भजौ कृतौ च तथा प्रेम भक्ति स्वकाम्ये प्रयच्छ न मोक्षे ग्रहो मेस्ति दामोदरेह नमस्ते स्तुदाम्ने स्फुरादिपिधाम्ने त्वदयोदरायथ विश्वस्य धाम्ने नमो राधिकायै त्वदीयप्रियायै नमो नन्तलीलाय देवयतोभ्याम्
Hare Krishna, I have a very pleasant announcement to make. His Holiness Bhakti Charu Maharaj very lovingly has made the Abhay Charan TV episode series. Today, Bhakti Prem Maharaj, one of his most beloved disciples, has announced that they are going to offer Srila Prabhupada a drive with the whole episode which is launched in Russian language today. So they are requesting His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj to kindly offer it to Prabhupada. Media department, can you show that small slide? Okay. Bhakti Prem Maharaj, would you like to describe this offering?
It is our great pleasure that in this auspicious day of Srila Prabhupada's disappearance day, so we are able to give this Srila Prabhupada's life in Russian language. We hope that Srila Prabhupada will be very happy. And with the hand of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Guru Maharaj and also Chandramoli Swami Guru Maharaj. Also, 2 months ago, we inaugurate in Uriya language with the hand of Honorable President Draupadi Murmu.
Gopati Krishna Prabhu, are you here? Gopati Krishna. Is that message? Where is that message?
हरि बोल। Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,